Oklahoma City rebuilt by Play Plan. In 1964, the Urban Action Foundation, a non-profit organization, formed launched urban renewal in downtown Oklahoma City, contacted with world renewal architect I.M. Pei to develop a plan for the future of downtown Oklahoma City. He too turned to film to sell his plan. The ancient man in the middle of the picture is I.M. Pei, and he was introducing his grand plan to local officials. Like many cities, Oklahoma City is showing the rose disease called blight, which like a deadly mold is settling over downtown and killing it. The symptoms of the disease are everywhere. In obsolete structures, worn-out hotels and apartments junkyard at the edge of downtown, and the low-grade businesses in much of its center. Fewer people come here anymore, and sales are dropping. Business costs are going up, and many merchants have thrown up their hands and discussed and moved up. And as the 1950 bond issue, the Pei film had a call to action, though not a bond issue. The Urban Action Foundation was trying to build support for the play. Pei called for tearing down hundreds of buildings and creating dozens of high-rise office buildings, and enclose the shopping mall and apartments around the downtown area. The area in red shows how many buildings would have to be torn down to implement the full play plan. Over 50 years after I.M. Pei revealed his plan for a modern downtown Oklahoma City, there are few fans of the urban renewal project that could see over 5 buildings obliterated to create super blocks of high-rises, shopping centers, and a large park. Many residents still lament the loss of the Criterion Theater. From the first picture, you can see the luxurious and elegant decoration of the theater interiors. The last 2 pictures shows the appearance of the beautiful building at that time, but now it no longer exists. Pei's plan may have changed this city's appearance and made it more modern, but at the same time, it has lost some meaningful buildings. This is the map destroyed OKC, produced by I.M. Pei and Carter and Burgers for the 1965 Oklahoma City Urban Renewal Plan. The map shows the areas of clearance and redevelopment that helped create a downtown with a huge supply of surface parking. To get the job done, much of the old downtown would have to go. Tens of millions of dollars were being provided by Congress for the makeover. Liberty Bank, Fidelity Bank, and Carnegie were committed to building new towers that lined up with Pei's master plan. Contractors hired by Urban Renewal leveled 447 buildings, and private owners tore out another 75, or so over 220 acres between NW6 and Interstate 40 from Chantel to the BNSF Railway. The height of luxury in its heyday, the Biltmore overlooked OKC for 45 years old before its 1977 destruction. Photos courtesy Oklahoma Historical Society. By the mid-1970s, popular support for urban renewal and Pei had vanished as dynamite and bulldozers took down landmarks like the Criterion and Warner Theaters, the Dawn Building, and the Biltmore and Harkins hotels. A segment of the Criterion Theater's ornate stage, picked from the rubble by a sympathetic work on the demolition crew, is on long-term loan from Smith Chic to the Oklahoma Historical Society, which displays the glaze fragment behind glass. The downtown mall never materialized, and the site instead became a massive two-level parking structures that was intended to be the base of the shopping center. The site is now home to Devon Energy Center. Pei certainly deserves some of the criticism that dogged him locally for years. His plane was tied to his embrace in the 1960s of brutalist architectures. He also was blamed for the actions of private developers. He did not call for destructions of the Biltmore or Harkins hotels. He urged city fathers not to tear down Main Street without first creating a new home for downtown's surviving retailers. By 1988, the play plan was abandoned, and the Oklahoma City Council declared downtown is dead. And it was at the moment the seeds were planted for maps and revival of Oklahoma City. Pei's legacy is mixed. The Mirror Garden, inspired by the Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen, Denmark, is perhaps the best of the Pei plan to have been carried out stubbornly and against all odds by Dean A. McGee. This photo is the former Kerr-McGee Tower, now headquarters to SandRidge Energy, which is considered the best office tower designed based on Pei's master plan. Large swaths of blight were cleared to make way for the gardens and the Cox Convention Center. But Pei's plan also eliminated what was a good street grid, albeit with what was a zigzag of north-south street crossing between Sheridan and Reno Avenues. Pei replaced the street grid with superblocks that are hostile toward pedestrian traffic. That, in turn, has hurt significant retail development in the central business district. We lost way too much of our history. In implementing Pei's vision, city fathers committed their own errors, choosing to tear down aging but functional buildings in favor of very uncertain prospects for a new mall, hotels, and housing. They were in a rush to create something shiny and new. He validated their efforts during his last visit in 1976. He told locals he was very impressed with their accomplishment and estimated they were halfway complete in fulfilling his vision.